Don't forget to get your tickets for December 2nd at the Pie Shop in DC. The Jasons, Houston and the Dirty Rats, 40 Reps, and Italian Blood, brought to you by this podcast. December 2nd, Pie Shop, DC. It's a Saturday night. Come hang out. Get your tickets.
Hey, this is Kelly from the Dolly Rocks.
This is Joe Queer from the Infamous Queers.
Hey, Sleepy P. Martini.
Hey, this is Indica Flowers.
And you are listening to
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Losers.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, all right, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of a Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that their podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurt. This episode is brought to you by PunkBox. Guys, it's November. But before you know it, you're going to be hearing this podcast and you're going to hear me say it's December already, okay? Go get your shopping done now. Go to punkboxrocks.com, punkboxrocks.com. Buy a monthly subscription service to punk rock merch for the punk rocker in your life or for yourself. Every month, they'll get a box with stuff like you normally find at a punk rock merch table: buttons, patches, stickers, koozies, CDs, cassettes, vinyl, all sorts of cool shit. Once a month, that's punkboxrocks.com, punkboxrocks.com. This episode is also brought to you by Merch Slut. Merch Slut has a wide array of official band t-shirts that she gets right from the band or the label. Bands that you love. She also has a really cool selection of really funny greeting cards, notebooks, personalized stuff, things that you get personalized, toys, Pop Funko stuff. Check her out, merchslut.com. Now, let's get to the show. Tonight, we are talking to 40 Reps. Thanks so much for doing this. I know you guys are playing the show that we're putting on, and it'll be about 3 weeks from when this airs. Super excited about that. You guys are rad, and you're from Richmond, so just, I guess, go through, introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
All right. Well, I'm Tommy. I play rhythm guitar and lead vocals.
I'm David. I play drums.
I'm Rebecca. I do bass and backup vocals.
I am Eric, and I guess you could say lead guitar and backup vocals.
So you guys are based out of Richmond. Are you all originally from Richmond?
I'm not. I think the rest of you guys are, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Richmond, born and raised.
Born and
Nice.
raised.
Where are you from, Rebecca?
Originally Manassas, Virginia. And
Okay.
then when I was about 12, we moved down to Raleigh, North Carolina. And
cool.
came to Richmond to go to school at VCU. And just kind of stuck around. Still here.
Hell yeah, that's VCU. I always think of Guar when I think of VCU. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
classic. What was so when you guys reach kind of getting into music, especially like punk rock, if you guys are really into punk rock, I'm assuming you are since you're a punk-ish band. What was some of the first kind of punk bands you got into? What made you kind of fall in love with punk rock?
I hate punk rock. I don't know.
What bands made you hate punk rock?
That's a good question. I think, Tommy, what bands made you hate punk rock?
Made me hate punk rock. Well, I'll go with the positive side first. Growing up, I remember probably middle school-ish, started listening to the pop rock bands, your Green Days, and a lot of Jet had just come out. But then I started getting into the I guess more traditional scene, a lot of Misfits, Ramones, the classic. I guess every kid pops in one of these records and kind of just kept chasing down that rabbit hole. I think back a lot on every single Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think without those, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. That's actually that Tony Hawk Pro Skater game is, when I asked that question, I would say probably a quarter of the people that we've had on this podcast referenced that game.
I'm sure.
I can only
Had a-
imagine. Like, I
Yeah.
think that was my earliest introduction to just punk rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was never good at that game, but the soundtrack was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Rebecca?
Well, I came kind of late to punk. I didn't really get into punk music until I was like in college.
Okay.
Remember freshman year of college, listening to some different things, got into like the Misfits, we were listening to a lot of like Social Distortion, and I also really got into Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite bands now. So yeah, among other bands, but yeah, that was kind of my intro to punk, and I still love it. I love it all, punk, hardcore, noise,
Yeah.
all the other genres that I could possibly name.
Yeah. What's your favorite hardcore band? I love hardcore too.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I can't think off the top of my head.
Gorilla Biscuits. That's your answer.
Oh.
They just played Gainesville Fest, actually.
Yeah,
Were
they
you
did.
down there?
We were all down. Well, three of us were down there. We weren't playing or anything, but yeah,
Okay.
they were. Yeah, we were hanging out down there all weekend, and it was killer.
Cool. Descendants played there too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Descendants.
That's awesome.
They were one of the big ones. Gore played,
Oh, really?
which Gore played, which was weird because it's like being from Richmond, we've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen them several times. It's like I remember actually the lady that was wristbanding us was like, "Don't you think?" I can't remember how she worded it, but she was like, "You guys from Virginia and you're coming to see Gore? Like, don't you think that's kind of a little like
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey man, look, we haven't seen him at Fest before, okay? Give us a break."
Yep. Yeah, we had one of our first. We started the podcast about over 3 years ago now, and one of our first guests was Sleazy P Martini, Don Draculich. Who's next? Love of punk rock.
I was gonna say, I was kind of along with Becca on that one. I mean, I kind of started a little bit later. My dad was a big like classic rock head, so like
Nice.
growing up, I listened to like a lot of old school 60s, 70s stuff that was just always playing in the household. Wasn't until maybe, probably 8th, 9th grade, I started getting into like punk music. I was listening to, all the bands that everyone's pretty much already stated: Green Day,
Yeah.
Blink 182, if you want to call them punk, and their
Yeah,
debate
yeah.
about that. I don't know. What else? I started getting into like Gang of Four.
Mhm.
I love Gang of Four.
Yeah, just some other bands, and it kind of just spot like, I don't know. I feel like my music interests are kind of all over the place, to be honest.
Yeah. Dave?
I guess I next. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd say like I started listening to like a lot of punk like 8th grade. Remember like in 6th grade and shit, I went to like the Y101 birthday bash and shit like that. Saw like
Okay, yeah.
Simple Plan and fucking I forget who else played that shit. But anyway, I liked Operation Ivy a lot
Nice.
growing up. Germs, Black Flag, Circle Jerks.
I know it's like you asked me to name bands that I instantly forget, and then now you're naming all these great bands.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
oh yeah, those bands.
Yeah. But I listened to a lot of that, honestly, growing up all through high school and shit.
Nice. Proper punk.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you guys remember the first show you ever went to? Not played, but ever went to?
Does it have to be punk?
No.
Okay.
Mine was Michael Jackson when I was like 6.
No way.
Ooh, you saw Michael Jackson?
I did.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
I did. And I saw
That's pretty
all
good.
his brothers and his sister were there too. It was actually a Jackson 5 tour, but it
Oh,
came out right after
wow.
Thriller. Yeah, it was like the early 80s in Philly. I don't remember it, but my eyes saw
okay.
Michael Jackson. So
That's wild.
That's awesome.
I think the first show I ever attended, Aaron took me to go see Molly Hatchet at Innsbruck. The first show I personally ever bought tickets to was My Chemical Romance.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I think my first show was actual Simple Plan at the Y101 birthday bash.
Oh my god, Simple Plan.
Yeah. I saw some lady's titties because she flashed the audience. I remember that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a memorable thing for a young man.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think the first band I saw was the Wailers, but it was obviously without Bob Marley.
Hmm.
So it was just like the group.
Nice. You a ska fan?
I
Reggae?
have been, yeah, in the past, definitely. I like
Mhm.
old like '60s,
Yeah, same.
Desmond Decker, stuff
Yeah.
like that, like old ska stuff. Yeah, you could call me a fan.
Yeah, did Becca
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
I kind of said mine at the beginning, and I went to Flogging Molly. That was my
Oh,
first
okay, cool.
concert
that's cool.
ever. My
Oh, really?
older sister was a big fan, and I went with her, and we had a blast. And
Cool.
yeah, they always put on a fun show.
Did she get you into punk rock? Did you kind of like? 'Cause that's another thing. Like
Maybe
on
that
here.
was my first like punk band. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I was into Flogging Molly and stuff in high school. I remember listening to like I guess a lot of folk punk like that, like
Mhm.
Frank Turner. I got into him and
Yeah.
was really big into like the Irish punk stuff. So yeah, I guess that was my first intro to punk. Really, now that I think
Awesome.
about it.
Actually,
Yeah,
now that I think about it, that was kind of, I agree with that. Like, I feel like I forgot to mention Against Me was like a big one, I
Yeah.
think.
Did you guys ever see the Pogues?
Oh, that would be so cool to see the Pogues.
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
Yeah.
Have
I
not.
can't believe Shane McGowan's still alive.
Does he still perform?
I don't know. It's been I saw them in DC and I saw them in Baltimore, and both times I saw them, he's so drunk.
He's
on
like in a
stage.
wheelchair now, isn't he?
He was for a while. I remember
Okay.
there was a guy that stood next to him whose job was just to light his cigarettes for him.
Oh shit.
But it's like so outrageous that it's almost like, is this for real, or is he just like playing a fucking, because it's so like he would like start singing the wrong songs constantly and he wouldn't even realize it till like he was like 25% through like, almost a quarter way through the song.
That poor guy.
But I mean, their shows are awesome. But yeah.
Tommy, I'm never gonna light your cigarettes for you, dude. Don't even think about it.
Well, hopefully you'll also be playing in the band. I can hire another guy to come do that.
Talk about your record.
The record.
Oh, yeah. We've been dropping
Yeah.
singles. I guess the record's actually coming out later next month. We had one in September, October, and one the other week.
Gotcha.
Wait, so
Yeah.
to clarify, record's coming out on the 17th of November.
Sweet.
That was mostly us. We kind of formed just post-COVID. All of us have been in previous bands together, and we're kind of just, none of the bands were doing anything. We're like, well, screw it, we want to fucking play. But so we wrote all these songs. We're working with Adam Grecken from Satan. He's putting out our tapes for us.
Nice.
We've had a lot of help from he, their front woman, has done the design for us, things like that. And our friend Pedro at Audio Verte actually laid down the tracks with us in the recording. So we spent most of early January into late February, March, just tracking the whole thing. It was a neat, interesting, because I guess it was a cool thing because I've never had a producer kind of be so hands-on and giving us new ideas. We came out with the last thing we just dropped, Judy, was easily a B-side before we recorded it. And now it's, I think, agreeable, like one of all of our favorite tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to all those, all those people that Tommy just mentioned, Adam Gecking, Pedro Aida. They kind of took this whole record to the next level. I feel like the production skills that Pedro has is just out of this world. Like, I highly recommend him. If you're in like the Richmond metro area, like, you should really work with him because he made us sound so damn good.
How long did it take you guys to put the songs together?
I guess it was about 2 years of writing. We did our first EP back in 21. We had a lot of these songs conglomerated at the time. We kind of just picked and choose like what we're gonna use for this EP. So I guess give or take about 2 years, just reworking them and revamping them.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, we lost a bass player halfway through the. Well, he didn't die or anything. He just moved over to. He just moved to Japan. So for a few months, we were like, gotta find another bass player, and that's when we found Becca, and she's been awesome.
Yay!
And she's actually contributed a lot to this band, doing a lot of like vocal harmonies and writing riffs and stuff. So it's been really cool
Nice.
having her a part of the band.
So how did you join it, Becca?
Well, I already knew the guys just from hanging out and going to shows and stuff. And I'd been playing bass for a few years at that point. And remember talking to David first. And he was like, yeah, you should come jam with us, And I remember playing with them. And then, went well and everything. And then I remember like I didn't hear from them for like a month or two. And I was like, oh my God, they hate me. And and then we're all hanging out at some show in Fredericksburg and they're like, oh yeah, we haven't gotten together forever. Like you should come out again and play with us. And I was like, oh, okay, like cool. So a lot of the songs were pretty much written by the time that I joined up. So I guess I kind of put my own spin on things and I think helped with like finishing some of the songs up. And so yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll play 2 songs if that's cool with you guys. On the podcast, we'll have one, like we could play one in the middle of the podcast and I usually close out the podcast with one. Which 2 songs do you want to play and go ahead and talk about them for a little bit of like the writing and lyrically and all that stuff.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Heads Up just being the title track.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, lyrically writing and the headspace I was in, it's post 2020. The world is basically ended as most of us know it. Yeah. I had recently gone through a pretty long-term relationship and was getting out of that. So in this crazy self-destructive headspace, haven't done anything in 4 months. I didn't work for a long time. Not seen anybody. So that track, and personally, and I guess it's kind of my lyrical theme over the whole album, is kind of just like the get better album. Like, pick your ass up, get it fucking together, put your head up, get back to life kind of idea.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if there is a silver lining to the pandemic, I know a lot of bands were able to really kind of focus on writing, maybe getting into the studio, and it definitely a lot of songwriters that we've talked to said that it really kind of helped them kind of focus, since there was no shows or anything else. But it still sucked.
It was an interesting time because I was definitely spending all my nights in the garage with bottles of wine and whiskey and just the guitar and strumming at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too, it was weird when we we were talking about doing like another project or whatever. Like it started with like Tommy, who's lead vocalist and rhythm guitar. He was behind the kit, and I mean, we were doing some weird stuff when it first started, but it was kind of cool. Like weekly as we were getting together, and the time went by. I think it was like second or third week. We were like, yeah, let's change it around. Let's call David in, get him behind the kit. It would fit better. Let's scratch half the songs we've written because that's like that's not really the genre we're trying to play right now. So we kind of just changed everything. It seemed like shifted everyone around a little bit, and started up 40 reps, which was kind of cool to see that all kind of happen.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, where does the name of the band come from?
So that people ask us that. This is a funny conversation. We've been running through band names for months, just trying to find something, picking anything that sounds like, ooh, that's cool. I remember at one point we were messing with the idea of bail or burn, like bailing off a skateboard. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, that's like neat, I guess. But we were like sitting around the pool. We were all out of town on vacation, and David was just like, oh, I've never been in a band with a number in the name. So I was like, okay, like what about 40 reps? And it kind of just stuck.
Nice.
Yeah, then I think we continued to all see who could do 40 push-ups.
Did do that,
There was a lot of PBR involved, and I don't know if anyone actually hit 40 reps.
I got to like 30 something. That's about it.
I think David, you got around like 30 something.
Yeah. I think it's more about like 40 ounces, like a 40-ounce beer, not like being a fit guy. Yeah.
We've gotten a few messages on Facebook, like a few messages on Facebook or whatever that are like, dude, I thought you guys were like a weightlifting like program or something.
Weightlifting band.
We're like, did you even look at any of the things that we post before you decided to reach out and message us?
All your songs are about lifting weights.
Yeah.
We can start a program, rigorous exercise program, and
40
sell
reps
it,
with 40 reps. Yep.
Yeah, post it daily.
Do some jumping jacks.
we could sell out, man.
Hell yeah.
If they make a dodgeball too, we gotta somehow do part of the soundtrack for that or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We should do workout videos where all the exercises involve using like a 40-ounce beer somehow as like a weight.
That would
when like you watch this videos and you're like, work out using these cans of tomatoes at home.
Wait, so
they're like 40-ounce beers.
Are you talking about just like actively drinking while we're working out? Just like
you could drink them maybe to lessen the weight and be like, okay, now drink part of the beer to make it lighter.
Now I'm so strong.
20 reps of the full 40 ounce, 40 reps of the half 40 ounce. I like it. We can put that together for sure. You guys drink 40s?
Not really.
Not much anymore.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't had one in like decades, but
yeah, it's been a while.
We did sit down. We were doing some photos of the album and stuff like that, and so we're like, oh, we just got to go buy some 40s. So we just grabbed some High Life or whatever. I don't think anybody finished theirs.
Well, remember we walked
those sucked. They sucked.
Yeah, we walked into this like mart that's like right around where Tommy lives, and I think we used to call it like the Murder Mart or whatever. But it, like it's one of those places where like the beer isn't coming off the shelves, so whatever they do have has just been sitting there for a really long time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think David went to pick up a 40, and there was like
Was it
mold all floating all in the inside of the bottle, and it was
Yeah,
There's
like
like
Cold
sediment in
45.
it.
Yeah, it's Cold
It's like-
45.
Cold
Yeah, that's
45.
what it
There you
was.
go. 45, a cold 45. Yeah.
Yeah.
shaking it
Fucked up.
up, and there was just no carbonation or anything in it, and we were like, all right, so I guess these are just for looks, or maybe there's a better one like that. I don't know.
I
Drink
bet
Like
you that
Miller
got you
is-
wasted.
Oh, true. Maybe we should have tried it.
And herpes, probably. But
Yeah.
what's the second song you guys want to play?
My vote would also be for Judy.
Agreed.
Power rock ballad.
yeah,
Sounds good.
I think so. Let's change it up a little bit, man. Let's give them that good old Nickelback.
Yeah, show
Oh
'em
God.
Back. Talk about Judy.
So
Uh,
Judy is kind of like I said, it's like our power ballad. We slow it down, there's riffy guitars. That one was kind of just off the cusp, at least for me, lyric writing was kind of just going to a party, meeting someone special. It's kind of cool, it's kind of weird, it kind of doesn't ever work out, but it's just this memory of sitting on a porch, talking about bands, chain smoking cigarettes. Just those, like, when your early 20 highlights of just going to your friend's house and having a shitty kegger or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember Tommy actually when Tommy came over to my apartment at the time, and he was like, "Yo, I've got this song, I've got this riff, and I got these chords, and I want you to play this riff, and I'm going to play these chords every time because I want to see if it sounds like what I think it sounds like." And we started playing it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we got to make this into something." And he was like, "I've been fooling around with a couple of verses or whatever." And sure, I mean, it was the bare bones of the song, but that was kind of like just hanging out on the back porch of my apartment, just kind of running it. I think we had acoustics and we were just jamming away at this song, but it ended up turning out to be pretty cool,
How long you guys been playing music? I mean, like individually, like when did you start playing music?
So I started in what is it when you're 12 years old? So it was sixth grade, and my best buddy was enrolling in band. So cool. I went, rented a saxophone,
Nice.
got into band class. I think by seventh grade I picked up the bass guitar a little bit, and then was lucky enough to get a drum set for Christmas one year. And like drums kicked it off. I played drums for years, and then started hanging out with Eric and some people, and we all got acoustic guitars. And so it just became like insatiable, like how many instruments can I grab? What can I put my fingers on?
Nice.
Yeah,
I
Tommy
think I
plays the
was-
sax.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
he
cool.
does.
Yeah.
He plays a mean
That's
sax.
pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't included that in some of the album. Actually,
you gotta
Maybe-
incorporate
We should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second one we'll have to do that.
The next one, our power ballad, we'll skip the guitar solo.
Careless Whisper style.
No guitars, all sax, dude.
Hell yeah.
Guitars at all?
Just no guitars at all. Just
Tom
with saxophone.
it's our
Tommy
jazz album.
That's the first time Careless Whisper has been mentioned on this podcast in 3 years, and I really appreciate you for saying that because
You're welcome.
Making history.
Let's see. I think back to the question you asked. I started playing music back in 2004. My dad, he's actually a guitar player, but he plays a lot of like folk, like older country folk stuff. And he taught me how to play, gave me an acoustic guitar, and then kind of went off from there. Like I think I got my first electric guitar when I was 13. And then just got hooked, and I think one of the big things for me was like meeting Tommy at the time and our buddy at the time, Josh, they were doing like a, I think was it a church? It was a church band.
We played in the Christian youth band.
Hell yeah.
Yes, we did. Met that way, and then
What was the name of that band, by the way?
Oh God, I don't think we ever named it.
Okay.
But
I couldn't tell you.
The longest time I wanted the guys so bad to name it Faith's Hill, like Faith. Yes, Hill. Like it's brilliant.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we were young back then, and I feel like it was funny because, like, I remember only being in that band very briefly, and then I think once me and Tommy had really met, like, we were like, "You want to just do our own shit?" And then we met David through there, and just like that's kind of when everything started opening up. I feel like as far as like music avenues for me. I've been jamming with these guys for a long time in different projects, you know?
Cool.
So it's been cool.
For as long as I can remember, I've been jumping around, dancing ever since I was a little kid, singing, and just loved, you know, doing all that fun stuff. My mom played some piano, and then my older sister learned to play piano, and then I learned to play piano, but I refused to take lessons for some reason. And my mom would try to show me stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, I know how to do it." And I just like didn't want her to show me how to do stuff. And so my older sister had like these like workbooks, piano workbooks, and they kind of like teach you how to do stuff. So I kind of went through them and kind of learned a lot of basic stuff on my own. And, you know, in high school, I did take piano lessons and I actually got pretty decent at it. And I was in chorus and I loved all that. And then when I went to college, I went to art school and I did painting and printmaking. And so I wasn't doing too much music at that time. But, you know, I was starting to see like friends playing bands and doing stuff. And that seemed really cool. And I was interested in that. And yeah, I think it was maybe a couple of years before the pandemic and all that shit went down. You know, I wanted to play with other people. And when you know piano, it's like, I don't know a lot of bands where it's like, I could play piano for your band, you know? So
that would
so
suck
like,
at load-in.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn bass because a lot of people know guitar, and I had played some guitar, you know, and you like some basic stuff. And it was just like, I don't know that I really want to do that. So I just got like I think I bought this like, it was like a Yamaha bass off somebody for like $70. And just throughout the pandemic, I was like working from home, but we didn't have much work to do. So I was just like learning to play bass and just kind of jamming around and fucking around and just kind of learned that way. Playing, you know, through Misfits and like Adolescence and shit like that. And so yeah, you know.
That's cool. What bass do you play now? What do you play?
I've done an SX bass. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a Korean or Japanese thing, I think, but it's essentially a P bass copy.
Gotcha.
I would love to get a real Fender one day. You know, once I get the money. The funds are always the issue, but for now, that's my only bass. So I would love to get another one and like try more stuff and learn more about all the gear in the world. There's so much out there. It's overwhelming.
Yeah. That's cool. What about you, Dave?
I've been playing since I was 8. So I'm 34 now, but I've been playing drums since I was like 8.
Hell yeah.
Because my dad, he was a band director for the longest time. And so is my sister. So it's always been around me all the time.
Wait, what do band directors do? What's a band director?
Like marching band, concert band. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Guy who stands in front of the concert and swings the stick around.
Okay, like a maestro.
Yeah. That guy. But that's kind of what got me into music. I mean, I started out doing piano lessons, but it wasn't as fun. But I ended up switching over to drum lessons and started just doing drums for the longest time. And I've been in multiple bands. I mean, me and Eric, we're in another band called Frame. We don't really do much anymore, but
cool.
But it's still a band.
It's still a band. We never quit. We'll come back. But Also, me and Tommy used to be in another band called the Delegates a long time ago.
Oh, that was a long time ago. And then we had
It's mainly Tommy's band, but like I drum with them for a little bit.
How long ago was that?
I don't know. Tommy, how long ago?
Like, when did you guys play your first? When did you play your first show? We talked about going to your first show.
Oh Lord, playing my first show. So I know the band Dave and I, our first band together was the Delegates. I was in high school. That was like 2010, and I think we played 2 or 3 shows, and that was about
Alley Cats.
Yeah, I think Alley Cats was our last show.
That's all I can remember with those guys. But
yeah.
Oh, y'all were in high school still, I think, and I played y'all's. Y'all played your fucking what was it? Battle of the Bands or something like that.
Classic high school battle of the bands.
Yeah.
We had our rival band and everything. It was great.
That's awesome.
I cannot off the top of my head though think what was like the first show I played. I mean, I think, like being in concert band and things like that from a young age, they put you on stage and you play Christmas songs for your parents and everyone's real nice and claps, but actually like, grabbing a guitar and a microphone and hopping up against, the 10, 15 people standing in the back of a dark, cold bar. I cannot pinpoint an actual one.
Gotcha.
Does acoustic guitar count?
Yeah,
Sure.
if you're up in front of a crowd, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is that what you did first? Your acoustic?
Yeah. I did a lot of acoustic music back in the day with my buddy Josh, and we we had some dumb, stupid name that even if I remembered, I probably
was it cover stuff.
We did a lot of cover stuff, but
like
at
Nickelback?
the time, no, that's Judy. No, I'm just fine. No, it was it's weird, man. It was like the thing I could think is like weird, like Jason Mraz stuff or something. I don't know. But like I said, even if I wanted to remember the name of our band, I wouldn't tell you because it's. But yeah, no, we played a show at this place called Alley Cats. They just mentioned it earlier, which was renamed to Kingdom. But yeah, Alley Cats, man, we played and we had to sell tickets. It was, it's like when you first start out.
Play to pay. Or pay
yeah,
to
man,
yeah.
They got us, man. I had no idea, and they totally roped us in and got us. And I think like they booked like 8 or 10 bands or something, and like we had sold like the 4th most amount of tickets, and like he was like the sound guy looked like he was like on some cocaine or something, man. He was doing some crazy shit, and I remember like right before we were about to play, he was like, instead of us having like a 30-minute set, he was like, oh sorry, but you guys only get 15. You only get 15 minutes. And we were like, what? We have like 20 or 30 people here, man. What the hell? But yeah, never again. Learned real fast on that one.
Yeah. What about you, Becca?
Oh, my first show was with this band. That's the first show I ever played. So summer of 2022.
Fuck
yeah. It was awesome. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
That was a killer show.
It was super fun.
Where was
Played
it?
in a parking lot.
Parking lot?
Yep, at Love Shack in Lakeside.
Cool.
Played with Shot Clock and
oh, nice.
Somebody else. Good crowd too. It was awesome.
I can't remember who else it was.
It was
Pedals
Pedals
on our pirate ships. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, it was Pedals.
Pedals on our pirate ships. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. I've only been to Richmond twice. One was for my daughter had like this field hockey thing. But then for like music wise, my friend and I went down to one of the barbecues. I forget which one it was.
Oh heck yeah!
It was one the Descendants played.
I was at that one, I think.
Oh really?
Pretty sure I remember seeing Descendants at one of those.
Yeah. Descendants was there. The Dickies were there.
Yeah, I was at that one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw Dick.
Yeah. And then we went to we stayed near the Guar Bar and went to the Guar Bar for dinner.
Nice.
I had jizz mac and cheese.
They still have that on the menu, in case you were wondering.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
I think I
Yeah.
almost ordered that. I almost ordered that last weekend when I was there.
What's the one band you guys, or have I gotten everybody's first show?
Yeah,
think so.
mine was with Tommy. Honestly, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was your first show with me?
No, honestly, Tommy, I think I was. I had Privies,
Right.
but I think Privies was after that.
Yeah, Previews was after that. Oh, that's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I honestly, I think that's probably my first show with y'all.
What's the one band you guys have seen live more than any other band?
Oh gosh.
I would say I kind of have a tie. Probably it'd probably be like Descendants and this band, the Menzingers.
Oh, okay.
But I've definitely seen Descendants a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably the Menzingers these days. 'Cause I've seen them 6 or 7 times now.
Wow. Okay.
That's about as many as I've seen them.
There was last year I saw them 3 times in 1 week because we went down to the Gainesville.
Shit.
They played 2 sets.
Yeah.
Back home, they were playing Richmond, and I was like, I'm not going to go to that. My buddy had an extra ticket, and I was like, I guess I'm going to go to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I honestly, I feel like it. Like I think I've seen the Menzingers like 4 times, which is pretty high on the list of how many bands, or I guess the amount of times I've seen a band. But most of those times, it's normally because either David or maybe like David or Tommy's like, "Hey, we're going to see the Menzingers." Like, all right.
Yeah.
Also, I got into a big Screaming Females kick for a while, and I probably saw them like 5 times, 5 or 6
Okay.
times.
Cool.
That was back in that was probably 10 years ago, though.
Yeah. What about you, Becca?
I was just trying to think. We were talking about the band I've seen the most. I mean, I feel like it's probably going to be local bands mostly. I think I saw Flogging Molly like 3 times, and that's probably the most I've ever seen like one band like that. But I've seen the Love Roses a million times, and
love those guys.
Get Up a bunch, seen Lacking a bunch, seen all sorts of. Trying to think of other cool local bands I've seen a lot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
Love
can't
Roses
think of them all.
rock.
There's too many good ones.
So. Hey Ron, I drum for Love Roses. I'm the drummer of Love Roses.
Oh shit! Okay.
I wasn't in the podcast. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
They're all awesome dudes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's awesome to see a 3-piece that fucking kills it live, because it's hard to be. It can be challenging to be super energetic when you're playing an instrument and singing, and if you only have 3 people. But you guys, Love Roses, like fucking, it's insane. You guys crush it. So
thank you. We do our best.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to ask you these 3 questions that we ask everybody on the podcast, and not necessarily the first one's not music related, but the first question is: if you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
It's not going to be the meatloaf I was snacking on a minute ago.
I'm gonna go for it. Go for it. I love food, so it's really hard to choose. But at this moment, I'm gonna say it would be like chicken fried steak,
nice,
with like some mushroom gravy and mashed potatoes, and probably some kind of vegetable, maybe, and like a roll or something. That sounds really good right now.
Hell yeah, that does.
So if I was about to die right now, that's what I would. Yes.
Hell yeah,
it's so good.
Nice. What? Say it again, Dave.
Steak and potatoes. That's it.
Okay. How you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Correct.
That's the right way to eat it.
Any kind of cut in particular?
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh, any kind of cut?
Yeah.
I'm not very picky. Prime rib.
All right.
Maybe.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, that one.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, what you got?
Oh man, I was hoping is it my man? All right.
You want Tommy to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I might as well just get it over with.
Okay.
It's not meatloaf.
It's a big decision. It's your last decision ever. So.
So it's only one meal?
Yeah, but you could just say you could have anything you want though.
I feel like most people go for like the hearty stuff, like the heavy, like give me like potatoes, greasy, whatever. But I think I'm gonna tone it down, man. I think like a big bowl of like masaman curry or something,
Okay.
or like some like sushi or something light, man. You know,
I thought you were about to
So
say
that
like
when
some
I-
salad.
so that when the bodily fluids come out, it's not.
Yeah, so when you shit yourself, yeah.
It's
You don't
not
want to make it as
crazy.
nasty as possible for the people who killed you?
Yeah.
I
No, I'd
would.
like to look presentable, man. Like
Okay.
you know, like suit and tie.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't want to
I
look
got
too
you.
bloated, from all that greasy
Yeah.
food.
I'd like to look good when I die, I guess.
They're gonna take pictures, man.
Gotcha.
Sure.
All right, Tommy.
Oh man, Eric had me laughing. I was like, I'm just gonna get a bowl of cereal.
What kind?
No, I'd probably go for something decadent though, like surf and turf. I love seafood. I could eat crab legs all day long.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like drinking light beer. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so I'd probably go some steak and seafood.
Cool. All right, cool. Second question is, and they actually do this now. You could actually have this done. If you were to be cremated, they could take your ashes and form it into a vinyl record of your choice. So if you were going to have your ashes eternalized in an album it has to be an album that exists. Which album would you pick?
I feel like I need to run over and check out my vinyl collection. Be like,
I know, right? Oh, that's a tough one. Because I'm also like going blank. I know the artist, but I'm also going blank on the album right now.
We could talk through it.
I guess I can do on top of my head. If I had to, I think one probably the most I've spun the most times is the Flatliners' Dead Language.
Okay.
I've spun that album front to back so many times. But I also think it'd be pretty badass to be pressed into Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell.
That's a first on this podcast, and that's a rad answer.
That'd be good. Me, I'd probably say like Rance's OG album.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll say
Okay.
that. Yeah, I listened to that a shit ton.
That's a great album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that.
Okay. Eric,
all
Becca?
right, Eric, what you got?
All right. I'd probably go with like Iron Sheik. You Can't Stay Here.
Okay, cool.
I've been thinking about it, and yeah, I think I really like "Evil" by Sonic Youth.
Cool.
I think I'd go for that one.
Very cool.
It's a great record.
All right, final question is, who is on your Mount Rushmore of punk rock? You get 5. You get a crazy horse. So 5 people. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of punk? Some people make a band out of it. Some people don't. It's up to you guys.
I guess it has to be a punk band,
A person. 5 people.
but it has to be a punk band, not like a hardcore or
No, it
metal
could be
or-
anything. I mean, we've had so many different. We've had like people from punk bands. We've had Liberace. We've had Little Richard mentioned.
Okay,
Whoever you
okay.
think is punk rock. Just 5 people.
I think I'd put I'd like Brody Dolly on there from Distillers.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brody Dale?
Brody Dale,
Is it
yeah.
Brody Dolly?
Is
It's
it Dolly?
Dale.
I thought it was Dolly. I can't remember.
I think it's Dale.
Is it Dale? Okay, Dale.
I think so, but I mean, I always thought it was, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. I don't know. I can't read.
Maybe it's
I'd-
delay. So maybe we're both wrong.
David is illiterate.
God. No, I'd put her up on there.
Cool.
I'd say Jeff Burke from the Marked Men. Throw him on there
Okay.
for me. That's one. I've got Uno.
There you go.
I think I got my full roster.
Okay.
Had to write this. This would be, I guess, my Rushmore, my punk rock super group.
Cool.
Oh, it actually literally consists of frontmen, but Chris Cresswell from the Flatliners, and he's with Hot Water now. Huge fan of his.
Mhm.
Brian Fallon of Gaslight Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Big Gaslight Anthem guy, and I love all his solo stuff. I'm pretty sure I got this one. Benjamin Nichols from Lucero.
Okay.
I remember first time hearing Lucero and really getting into like, I'm going to start singing with raspy vocals from now on. Like
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
And then this one's a little wiggly, but I'm going to go ahead and throw Gregory Barnett on there from the Menzingers because I just like his songwriting a whole bunch.
Cool.
And then full mix up and just throw Glenn Danzig on there because fuck it.
Sweet. Eric, Dave, you got a next one?
I would say the drummer of Descendants. I can't remember his name.
Bill Stevenson?
Yeah, he's a beast. I'd throw him up on there.
Cool.
He plays in a lot of bands. I like his drumming.
All right, so you have Brody Dale and Bill Stevenson so far.
Yes.
You got 3 more.
Okay. I would say I would also say Keith Morris. I'm sure that's probably been said a lot, but
but it's worthy.
Yeah, I'd say Keith Morris.
Well, I'll go ahead and name a couple while you're thinking.
Yeah, go ahead, Becca. Go ahead.
I definitely go Mia Zapata from the Gits. She's one of my favorites. Kathleen Hanna. I love Wendy O from the Plasmatics. She's great. Kim Gordon, of course.
Hell yeah.
And then I really like the Lunatics a lot. So the singer from the Lunatics.
Cool.
I looked it up at Theo Kogan. I didn't know her name off the top of my head. So
sweet.
Yeah. It's a solid lineup.
Hell yeah.
I got 2 more. I got Jason Librano. He's the frontman of Iron Chic. I really dig him because I just really love like his lyricism.
Yeah.
And that band for me is just important, man. That kind of like what we were trying to do with this album, I feel like, is they're writing about like, being the best version of yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I dig that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Also, throw Joey Ramone on there just cause.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think of who else.
I would say Jesse from Operation Ivy.
Okay.
And then I would also say I'd say Laura Jane Grace.
Okay.
Is that 5? I'm missing one?
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Eric needs 2 more, and then that'll be it.
Let's think on this one. I would think probably the singer of the Clash. I can't think of their
Joe Strummer.
Yeah. To make it easy, I'll just go Laura Grace Jane too, because that was kind of one of the artists that I feel like really kind of got me into playing electric guitar.
Talk about what you guys have coming up. Besides December 2nd at the Pie Shop in DC.
Yeah.
We're going on tour this weekend.
We are.
Yeah.
We're kicking off tomorrow at SB's Lakeside Love Shack for a Thursday night punk show in the parking lot.
Nice.
And then we're hopping in with our friends from Steel Boy and heading down, doing Wilmington, North Carolina, doing the Tin Roof in Charleston, South Carolina, and a long ass drive back up to the Tap House in Norfolk, Virginia.
Also, got album release after that.
Yeah, we got some shows coming up. Got the whole tour coming up. Got the album coming out. That's dropping on the 17th on Satan Records. Super stoked to finally get that one. To put this one out because I feel like it's been kind of sitting in our back pockets for a little while. So, it'll be nice to finally be able to share that with everyone.
Hell yeah.
And then we got some local shows in Richmond coming up with a band called Rough Dreams off of or they're out of Tennessee. I think they're off of Coffin Curse Records.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're planning our release show, which is going to be New Year's Eve. So, hey, Kitty.
Yep, kitty butt.
Yeah, I have 3.
So really show is going to be New Year's Eve, and that's going to be with Shot Clock, Steel Boy, and potentially She. But that's kind of, I don't know if that's solidified yet on She.
Yeah, the bar is opening just for us to do the show. They're not usually open on a Sunday. But yeah, they're letting us do a show anyway. Opening up just for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And this will come out on Sunday night. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks at the Pie Shop.
Awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Looking forward
thanks
to
for
meeting you
having
in
us.
person.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks
All
for
right.
putting us on, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that-
Anytime. Take care, guys.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
too.
Bye.